Kyle Homan, 376-2569, Wolf-Ass Productions. Gonna show the aftermath of both of our cars. But before I do that, shout out to 1984 CEF's Spool. Sorry if I said that wrong, man. He was my 100 subscriber, and I said 100 subscriber gets a shout out. Here's the shout out. His channel I'm gonna put down here at the bottom. And yeah, but now I'll go show you the cars. Alrighty, first off, I want to say I got hammered. This rim is very, very bent. Now, that doesn't really even justify how bad it's bent. It's kind of a blessing in disguise, because I couldn't get around for nothing. These were just too aggressive of tires and too heavy of a car. I was digging holes everywhere. But, see, my welds held up perfect. For all the haters that say you waste time welding your cars up. Yeah, as soon as these tires got bent, I started getting around a lot better. Let's see, where did I even start? I guess I'll just walk around the car once. I didn't get hit once in this door. That seems outrageous to me. Everything in the cab looks good, nothing bad went on. Right here, that broke, this bracket. See, that started caving in. So this broke, so we just took some Day of the Derby stuff. We took some 9-wire and wired her up. Works perfect. I wouldn't recommend it, but it works. Got a little hammered up. Bumper got a little hammered up. Still perfectly straight. My frame is perfectly straight. This car is going to run again. Can't really show you nothing, but the frame looks fine on this whole car. I guess I can't really show you this either. This right here is what took me out of the Derby. I had a wing nut to this ground wire, and it came undone. So it killed my battery, and I couldn't start. That's why the car was so perfect in the powder puff. Other than that, I could have kept going. Made a few more hits, got down to 4th, 3rd, 2nd, who knows. But that's a Derbying for you. Always the little things that go wrong that take you out. Ooh, that's barbed wire, that hurts. Alrighty, get around all this junk. Okay, this side looks pretty much as good. Weird things like this were happening all over this car. I don't know what happened. That got knocked out. Okay. Everything else looks pretty legit here. The TW is still pretty intact. Yeah, everything's pretty nice here. Except, first I'll show you this rim. This rim got pretty bent up. I'm doing this video pretty flat right now. Welds held up perfectly. This used to be at the bottom of the car. See how I have bolts on the other side here? I actually had that. I had this lipped, it had down, and the excess I put over, put this nut and bolt through, and it grabbed the bottom of the floor pan. The floor pan just gave, and this is what happened. All my welds held up here. The frame here is perfectly fine, from what you guys can see. My humps didn't collapse, nothing. Broke that chain. That chain's been bothering me. That's been there. Broke before the Derby, put it back on, broke after the Derby. Alright, now onto this car. Righty, the Punisher here. Well, actually lost forward, only had reverse. So last time we were in this car, it lost reverse, and we only drove it forward, and I think we just wore out the forward gear, so then when we rebuilt it and got the reverse figured out, then that happened. They wanted us to cut these, the bumper shocks from the Chrysler, which we did. The bumper's still straight, frame's still straight. The only problem is not a lot of places let you do this to cars. The whole Sedagon. The Sedagon works perfect. Joe made quite a few shots with this rear end, and this looks just like the day we got it. Or did it, I guess. The frame started going up perfect. Oh, you couldn't have asked much more from this. It was starting to bow out here, but I mean, it was going up perfect. I think the second bowing out would actually help, almost as its own double notch, but who knows. And yeah, reverse went out. Otherwise this car would have been fine. Last but not least, the Impala. Everything in the cab looks good except for this. We lost steering. One of our welds broke right at the U-joint. So we actually we had a brain fart, just like I had the brain fart and didn't tie down my ground wire. Dad didn't weld all of his steering column. The second thing that happened is this universal joint actually just popped out. It's still in the training. So after Dad wasn't steering for a while, he finally got hit just right and that popped out. This worked wonderful. This was the best notch I've ever seen happen. It's right perfectly in line. Couldn't ask for any more from this. We dimpled this one. The other one we cut and notched. This one we actually dimpled it. And it worked like a dream. And that just taking a piece of steel, getting it real hot, and then just hammering on it. Sprinkler. Really didn't even take this much abuse on the passenger side. Hardly even got hit. Yeah, this car you'll see in our next derby, for sure. I mean, all three of these cars you'll see in the next derby as long as they're alright. Especially with Joe's car, if they let you Sedagon in the next derby, these cars are ready to go. That's how we did that. You see, we put a weld here, which is good, and a weld here, which is good, on both sides, which is allowed, and arms forward. The thing is, we connected all of these welds. If we would have just welded here and welded here, it would have broke through. But we connected all of our welds, had 4 or 5 passes, so now this is solid all the way around. The frame looks wonderful. Especially the rear frame too, it looks perfect, but you'll see this car again. So, I guess, also somewhere along the way this tire popped. It's been sitting here for a week and now it finally deflated, so we got a very slow leak on this tire. But, that's all for this video. You'll see these cars very soon.